In this video, let's plan out the week in my brand new Passionate Penny Pincher home planner. Hi, I'm Kristen and I post functional planning videos on my channel. If you're like me and you need a gentle reminder to just keep it simple, please make sure you're subscribed and I'll be right back. Okay, I know this is probably a huge surprise to you. I normally am planning in my Erin Condren Dashboard Layout Life Planner, and I am going to refer to this in this video because I do need to transfer some things, but let me set that off to the side and show you this. I'm sorry about the sun. This is really the only time I have to plan and to film, so we're just gonna have to deal with this situation right here. Okay, so in a recent video I reviewed the 2026 home planner from Passionate Penny Pincher and I love it. It's so good. I'm so excited to use this and encouraged to use this. So this is the 2026 planner. Well, when you purchase the planner, it comes with a digital and printable version, and they included the last few months of 2025 so that you could get started right away. So I decided to print some pages out for October, and I was just kind of messing around. This is just me printing this on just regular super cheap printer paper and just kind of like filling it out and just kind of practicing in it and just back planning to see how I would use it, right? Okay, so I decided I really liked it. And so I went ahead and had these pages printed by a company called cheapercopies.com. Somebody in the planner, the Passionate Penny Pincher group. If you purchase the planner, you get to join a group, a Facebook group. Someone had recommended it and I don't remember who. I just remember reading it and then later I was like, oh, I could try that place, because I did put the pages into like Office Depot, maybe it was, to print them, and it was so expensive, so expensive. So I went to that Cheaper Copies place and it was not super expensive. So anyway, and I picked the better paper and it really does make a difference. You could see here, probably, I don't know, this is like, here, I'll bring it up here. You can see that like everything is bleeding through. Even just like my regular pen is bleeding through, because this is literally the cheapest paper you can find for printing that I have. It was like $6 a ream. But anyway, I went ahead and had this printed on better paper and I punched it for discs. These are Planner Kate discs that you can get with the disc bound like sticker storage system. And then I went ahead and had the covers and the dividers printed on their nicer cardstock, and then I laminated them and punched them for discs. And I also did not laminate the dividers. I just left these on the cardstock for now. So anyway, I am probably not gonna set up the planner in this video, but there's tons and tons of like checklist pages and planner setup. And I've actually gone and kind of rearranged the planner a little bit and added and removed some pages I didn't need and put some things in different orders. And I actually added this Bible tracker, which, you know, that normally wouldn't be on these pages. I did that just using Adobe Acrobat. I don't think you can do it in Adobe Reader. I'm not sure. I'm gonna look into ways that you can rearrange pages in a PDF. And maybe if you're interested, I can show you how I did that. But anyway, this is October and we're not in October anymore. I did go and kind of start writing some of the things down that I did this week. But we're just gonna move right into November because that is when the next week is. And I really need to fix this. This is bothering me. Let me see if I can't put something over the window. Hold on. Okay, I'm hoping that's a little better. It's probably darker, although if you might not notice if it's darker. I might be able to fix it when I'm editing. But anyway, okay, so I haven't done the monthly yet, but I do plan on doing the monthly, and hopefully I can film it. I don't know. I am so backed up on filming, and there's some other things I need to do first, so I may just end up showing it to you. But let's go. See, these are pages that don't normally come behind the monthly. I went ahead and added notes pages there because I like having that dashboard like I do in my Erin Condren planner after the monthly pages. But this is the week that we're going to be working on, and let me go ahead and, I don't know, try to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay, now you'll see here, I'm not going to go through everything this planner has in it because I already did that in the review video. So I am just going to jump right in. The only difference that is going to make this a little bit challenging is that it's a Sunday start. So the weekly it starts on a Sunday. I do not care for that. Now, the digital or printable version of this planner does come with a Monday start. However, the end of 2025 bonus pages did not. And so I'm kind of trying to use this as an opportunity to see if I can handle Sunday start. And then if I can, then I will use this. But I might really, really want that Monday start. And if I can have it printed, and then just use the discs like this, I may just have the Monday start version of this planner printed so that I could still have a Monday start. Somebody did recommend that in the comments on the review video, and I think that is a major contender. So let's just kind of try to start here. So on November the 2nd, we're just doing church, and then I put grocery shop here, but that's already in here. So I guess that's really all I need to add is church. So let's add church, and there's 7 check boxes here. And the way I'm kind of thinking about doing this is just kind of having each of these lines is like a 2-hour window for the day, because that would give me 14 hours, and the other 10 hours I'm either sleeping or doing things I don't need in my planner, you know, like I don't need, it's like daily things that I do every day, so I don't need to like note it here. So I think basically we're just gonna start and do like even and go like 6, 8, 10, noon, and then 2, 4, 6 p.m. So like 6 to 8 would be this last one. And then once 8 o'clock happens, I like go to sleep. I'm usually getting ready for bed, or I'm already in bed. I go to bed very early because I wake up very early. I wake up at 4 a.m., but at 4 a.m. I'm doing my Bible study and just kind of like doing things that are on this checklist. So that's why I feel like it'll work for me. The other thing is that they have a washi tape set that has an hourly times on it. I don't know if it will fit on here. Let's see. Actually, I did a test. Let's just use these. So these, another thing to note is that this washi lines up with Erin Condren note pages. So you could, if you don't need a new planner, but you want some timed washi and checklist washi, as well as some really pretty other kinds of washi, you could grab this off of their website. And I'll link everything. In the review video of this, when I reviewed this, I was not an affiliate for Passionate Penny Pincher, but now I have applied and they have approved me. So the links in the description will be an affiliate link. So if you do decide to purchase, I would be so grateful if you used my link. It would really help out the channel a lot. But there are even numbers and odd numbers, and they're 2-hour blocks. So I have 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. here, and it looks like the line spacing is pretty accurate. Let me just pull this off of here and see. I'm not going to use this, that's why I'm not putting it on there. Yeah, so you could put that on there if you wanted, and then you could also put the 7 to 7 on this side, and then you can kind of have 2 columns so that you can write the things, because these are very big, especially if you print it on this size. it's wider than your Erin Condren 1.5 inch columns. So you can actually do 6 a.m., 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that kind of thing. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. I thought that was really neat. And then there's checklist washi too. And then this is just the rest of the washi that you can grab. I will probably do another video. I have a whole box of stuff I bought because I loved everything and I want to show it to you. So I'm including the work planner, which is a vertical planner. Yeah, so I'm going to just kind of keep this from 6 a.m. down to 6 p.m. And that's going to work for me just fine. I'm not going to write it though. I'm just going to kind of use that to break up my day. So anyway, church is at 9 a.m. That would be the second line, which goes from 8 to 10. So we will write 9 a.m. church. And actually, let me fill in some things here. So on the checklist space, one of the things I do every morning is my Bible. And I am just going to add it. There's 2 blank ones down here. And even though this is on the afternoon checklist, I am just going to put my own things there. And I will put Bible and Duolingo, because those are the 2 things that I like to do every single day. So first thing in the morning is Bible, and then we have exercise, shower, make bed, start laundry, all those kinds of things that you kind of do in the morning time. And then you have your day, and then you have the things you kind of start doing towards the afternoon and evening time over here. And then over here, you just kind of have your daily things. It's really a weekly task, and then they break it up on specific days, including the Bible verse that you're reading, which kind of overlaps with where I am currently. I am not using their plan, but I am starting 2 Corinthians actually tomorrow, which is November 1st, because I still do have Bible time on the weekends, even though they do every weekday. So anyhow, I will just check these off this week. I'll just check them off when they happen. Right now, the way my routine is that this doesn't really match up with my everyday routine, but my goal is to kind of shift and try to get to this space where things are happening. I would like to just follow their plan, just to kind of take that whole mental energy off of me, but I do need to do some maneuvering. So right now I'm giving myself grace to just kind of let it happen. So anyway, making the menu plan and grocery shopping on Sunday might not happen. I don't know. I feel like the grocery store is very busy on a Sunday, and I don't really like to go when it's busy. So I don't know if I will do that. Even once I try to get everything else on the same day, I might save it for Monday morning. Because I can go when I drop my kid off at school and go very early in the morning when nobody's in there. And I feel like that just kind of works out better. Whereas I'm less, I like Sunday to just be a chill day. And I feel like if I have to go to the grocery store, that kind of negates the chillness of it. So I may just end up on Monday checking off that I shopped on the Sunday one. But anyhow, those are the kind of daily things. And then we have a spot for the menu, which I have not planned the menu yet, so that's not going to go in. And then there's a gratitude and a spending, or just a financial thing. So those are things that I'm going to have to add later. Gratitude is obviously something that I will add each day as it happens, as well as probably the money one, unless there's a specific thing that I need to pay for. Actually, I can fill one in here because I need to pay for my son's tennis lessons before his lesson on Tuesday. So we will put here, pay tennis. Perfect. Okay. And let me go. I'm all discombobulated. Is that a word? Discombobulated? I don't know. Let me check. Let's first check what has not happened yet this week. I do have my cleaning checklist, which is going to stay here because this was for October. And I need to kind of go through here and see what happened. Cleaning the oven, Twitch will happen today. Putting away Halloween I'll do over the weekend. I need to check my mail for my debit card. That's gonna happen next week. And I guess what is gonna be challenging here is that moving these like random tasks, I don't really have a to-do list for the week over here. So I kind of have to decide how I want to do that. I may just do it like on one of these notes pages, or I could even do it like that. But let's see how I started playing with it for October and see. I haven't done anything with this yet. And I started using the stencil that comes with the coiled planner. I love it. Isn't that cute? I think it's so cute. So I have some goals over here that I wanted to do, and we have been checking some off. I kind of like the idea of having things that I'm checking off like all on one spot, and I'm thinking I might just put my like scripture of the month here instead of checklists. But then I also added these notes pages in, so I could put maybe my monthly menu and just kind of try to recreate the same dashboard situation I have in the Erin Condren planner. I'm thinking that's what I want to do, and I'll probably go ahead and like recreate what I currently have for October and just back plan it to see. That's like one way you can kind of practice to see if something will work in a new planner. But this, I think this might be a good spot for like a checklist. Also, because it's a disc, I could just punch a bunch of notes pages, like the Erin Condren list pads, for example. I could do that. And yeah, the other thing is I could just use sticky notes. Of course, you know I love sticky notes. That way I can just move them from week to week instead of having to rewrite them. That is the beauty of sticky notes. Let's grab one of these Erin Condren ones. This one, this dot grid one kind of matches, as well as, let's see, this is the Earth Tones set. This is the Erin Condren Colorful set. This pink matches really well, and then in the navy. So we've got some options there as well if we wanted like a matching color scheme. I do want some lines. We'll go with the yellow, I think. Yeah, let's go with the yellow here. Uh-oh, it's ripping. And these are sticky on this side. All right. So I can start moving over my weekly to-do list onto here. Smoke alarm batteries need to happen on this day because it is daylight savings. So let's actually write that here, like we'll just put it on the one above church because it's just gonna kind of be for the whole day. Smoke alarm batteries. Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm moving that, even though technically it's on the same week. The Twitch resub I'm gonna do today. My tending list I still haven't done. I don't know. I really need to do it. I just don't know if I'm gonna get to it this weekend. I said I was gonna film it, and I'm trying to figure out. The reason I haven't done it is because I said I would film it, and now I haven't done it because I haven't been able to film, and now I'm kind of suffering for it. That's just how it is when I make planning videos, because people don't like when I just show you what I've already planned. People want to see me writing on the paper and talking it out, which I get, but that, yeah, it puts me in a conundrum sometimes when I'm trying to figure out when to do it. And yeah, so I don't have that done. I don't know. I'm going to put it here, and I just don't think I'm going to get to it this weekend. So we'll put make tending list. And I may actually take it out and punch it and put it in here, because this is big enough now where I don't have to like fold the page, and I can punch the tending list and just stick it right here in with my November stuff. Yeah. Okay, so making the tending list, and then I need to just make sure I get my debit card delivered. Check for Ally debit card, because I have a spending account with Ally, so I can move my like savings into a spending account. So for example, for car repair, my husband's tire busted the other day, and so like it actually came apart, and so we needed to get a new tire, and I have money saved for car repairs. But if I don't want to pay like an instant transfer fee to get that money from my savings account to my bank account, you know, I just have to wait a few days. And so I went ahead and opened a spending account, because then I can instantly transfer money back and forth between the high yield savings and the spending account, like with no fees. And then we can just use that debit card when we need to pay for something like right away. So anyway, long story short, I just need to check for that and make sure I get it. So it's not just sitting in my mailbox. Okay, and I think that's everything for that will probably happen next week. So this will just be my checklist that I'm starting for the week. And I think then I can just flip over to my November calendar that I've started and kind of, you know, start transferring things over this way. And we have no school on Tuesday because it's election day. I've already voted early, so I don't need to go vote or anything, but there's no school. And then I have Bible study on Thursday. There's also a Gold School Premium class on Thursday. That seems very early in the month. I may need to check that date. And there's a tennis tournament on Saturday, and then we have Formula One. Oh, well, Sunday's not going to be on this week, but practices are. Quali is also on Saturday, so I do probably need to track that. I did see a question in the comments, and I'm sorry I'm not actually like typing out answers to comments. I see them, and I don't know. I prefer to sit on my computer so I can type them out, and I just haven't had a moment, but I do like to check the comments like on my app on my phone. Anyway, somebody asked about like, why do I track Formula One in my planner? It's just because I love it. It's just like anyone else that loves like basketball or football or baseball, and they're tracking their favorite team like when they play in their planner. I want to know what times, because they're all at different times. Because each race is in a different country, a different time zone, and so they're all at different times. And I want to know when it is, because my husband and I like to watch them together, and we just like to make time for that. It's like something we do together, and so it's important for me to track it in my planner so that I can make time for something that we enjoy doing. And so that's why I keep track of Formula One in my planner. Okay, let me check this too for anything that's happening at the beginning of that week. Oh, I have a meeting on Monday night, and then my son starts his tennis lessons on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, so let's get all of that transferred. I will need to go make my monthly calendar soon, but we'll say we have no school on Tuesday. And I'm going to just write that up top here where it says election day. We will just write no school. And then on the 6th, I have Bible study. And what's great about these discs is that I can pull out so that I don't have to write next to the binding. So I'm going to pull this page out and move it over here. And on Thursday the 6th, I have Bible study at 9:30 to 11:30. Which I am going to go ahead and put on the third line because it takes up most of those 2 hours. So we have at 9:30 to 30 a.m. And that is our last session of Bible study for the season. And then I think there's a Goal School Premium. I'm actually going to wait and check on that when I go and look at my planner again. I feel like that's too early in the month for Goal School. Oh no, it's because of Thanksgiving. They've moved everything up a week. Okay, I'm going to write it here. So we also have, I am not going to be able to watch it live. So I'm going to also put just like in parentheses, 11 a.m. is my Goal School Premium Masterclass. And then I will need to watch the replay. So let's put that on the checklist. I think the replays are usually available within a day or two of the live session. And so there, yeah, that way I won't forget. And then on the 8th, there is a tennis tournament. Okay, and then on the 3rd in the evening at 7:30 p.m. that'll be on the last line here, is the town hall meeting for Erin Condren affiliates. And my son's tennis lessons are from 6 to 7:45. So we will put that down here. And we need to put that also on Thursday. All right. And I feel like that's everything other than the Formula One stuff I needed to note. So I can grab my phone and check on the schedule for Formula One. So on Friday from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. is practice 1. And I don't think we're going to watch these live those days, so I'm just going to kind of put off to the side. I think over here is a good spot, and then I still have like the main like task spaces open, so I'm going to put them, I think maybe how I did over here in the parentheses might be good. We have, because that's kind of just like, that's what time it is, but I'm probably not going to make it live. I think that's kind of like a good indicator. Like if it's in parentheses, it's just, I just need to know. Okay, so this is 6 to 8. This one we'll do 8:30 a.m. is FP1. And then practice 2, oh, there's a sprint. Okay. So sprint quali is at 12:30. So 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8. Okay, yeah. So 12:30 p.m. is sprint quali. All right, and then the sprint is going to be at 8 a.m. here. So then 8 a.m. is the sprint. And then the actual quali for the race is at noon. So that's this one. 12 p.m. is quali. And then I wrote quail. All right. Let's fix that. Quali. Okay. And then the actual race is here. I could probably fill that in. That's at 11. We will put over here 11 a.m. is the Brazilian Grand Prix. Okay. I think that's everything. I wish I had food figured out so far. I don't yet. I'm trying to go through like my whole freezer and just finish up any kind of like leftovers, not necessarily like food. Like I have a lot of ground beef and chicken breasts and chicken thighs and things just like frozen. But then I also have a lot of pre-cooked things. Like I have a bunch of bolognese sauce and I have, you know, like red beans and rice and soups and things. I want to go through and clean all of that out before Thanksgiving. So I think that's what we're going to be working on as far as food goes. But I just need to go, I'm really bad about keeping track of what I have in my freezer. I write everything down on the freezer containers and the bags and things. I just am bad about keeping a list of that. So that's something that I should probably try to work on. Let's put that on the list. That is going to be food inventory. And I wonder if there's something in the like the Passionate Penny Pincher planner for that, or maybe on their blog or something. I don't know. This brand does a lot with like meal planning and everything, so I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But anyway, if not, I have my own little sticky notes that I can use to keep track of that. Those are available in my shop. And okay, I think that's it. Let's move this weekly thing over here. We'll just stick it here for now. Okay, so on here we have all of the checklist things for the daily stuff, but then there's also this organized garage as like the weekly project. I doubt I will do that because it's kind of like my husband's thing, but I don't know, we'll see. I do have like a lot of like plant stuff in there, like gardening stuff, so maybe I'll do my section of the garage. Anyhow, I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for bearing with me. I know this hasn't been the best month or two as far as uploads and everything. I'm trying. I just, you know, the channel is something I was doing when I wasn't as busy with like my home and my family and everything, and things have kind of changed recently, and so I'm trying to find my stride with that. And you know, I'm sorry that it hasn't been as consistent, but my goal is to get back to consistency. I just have to figure out how it works. It's been years of perfecting the schedule and the system, and now it's changing. So thank you for your grace with that as I kind of figure out the new routine and try to get back into the swing of things. Yeah, that is it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing because I post functional planning videos on my channel. And if you liked this one, you'll probably like those ones too. And I'd love to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.